look at it again. Jonathan Hurst unfortunately slams that right end in. Did he impede his line? It seemed that, I want to take a look at it again.
Ryan Literal was on that outside zone 1 really, really long. And I think Jonathan Hurst didn't have anywhere to go, and he ended up getting his nose next to Ryan. Ryan transitioned and hit Hurst's front end, which sent him into the wall. So it comes down to positioning. When you're out there on the track, you want to make sure you're not in the way of a
Costino, the D. My wife, thank you too. Thank you, Stephanie, and Tyson, and Parker, and Rowan. Thank you to Rowan for coming. Here we go, back in the action. Chelsea Denofa, Kyle Lemetis Mohan in the building. Chelsea Denofa, big wide swing of that Pennzoil Lubricants. Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Big swing there from Chelsea Denofa. Oh, massive angle from Denofa. It looked like he was gonna spin there, Ryan.
How did he hang on to that?
That was insano. Yo, the amount of angle that he had going.
Great combination.
Yeah. Here we go. Rome Charpentier. A lot of confidence in his corner. Always got a smile on his face. So does Stookie. That M-Spec S chassis. There goes Rome Charpentier now coming into view. Look at that. The attitude of that BMW. Look at Stookie. He gets out there. He does lose some ground, but Rome, automatic, looking like an RC car that is just being controlled by somebody in the sky. Yo, did you see that run? I mean, that was like a 90-something qualifying run. That was early on signs of success. Here we go.
This should be interesting, Jared.
This should be really good. Chelsea Denofa, Pennzoil, RTR Spec 5D. Wow, look at that nasty swing by Denofa. The defending champion, Frederick Aasbo, chasing him down. Denofa taps it. Massive angle. Whoa! Whoa! What was Denofa going? Absolutely ham, steak, and eggs, all of it. Denofa has just been airing it out.
Force a mistake of some kind, but let's see what happens.
All right, here we go. Frederick Aasbo, Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra. Gets out of the outside zone, like we said, just kind of run even keel. Oh, wow. Look at Denofa! Woo! That's what you wanted, Montaigne. Denofa heard you, but he dives in on the inside contact. Purple Brown, the official oil of Formula Drift. Matt Field with a nasty snap. Snap into it like a Slim Jim. That a boy. Matt Field goes back, taps the bumper. He did it. That's the run you were looking for. 1, 2, 3. Outside zones. Dylan Hughes pushes. Great driving there by Dylan and Matt Field. What's going on? Here we go. Send it! Long Beach. Here is Matt Field, Frederick Aasbo. This should be another exciting one here, Lontaine. Matt Field, nasty initiation, a wide swing, coming in hot, gets all the way out there. You asked for it. Oh, boy! Whoa! A massive hit by Matt Field. Let's make sure he's okay. A big hit by his hands out the window. Round of applause for Matt Field. Make some noise for Matt Field. We'll run that back, but that front left and that back right is damaged. And Ryan Turk, a celebratory run for the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla on Ditto tires. The Rockstar driver, the 411, the new dad, and now your 2022 Formula Drift Pro Champion here in Long Beach. Congratulations to Ryan Turk. He is your winner. Congratulations to his wife, his now son, and his whole team and crew. I say one piece because it's tough, obviously, for Matt Field.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful.
Absolutely well done there.
official sponsor of Formula Drift. Join the social app for car enthusiasts. Show off your rides. Connect with Formula Drift drivers and fans. Find your crew. Locate events. Watch exclusive Formula Drift clips powered by Throttle. Join the social app that brings together car lovers from across the globe. Go full throttle and download the app now.
You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, 'cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'm a kid, and you know I be on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
All the stars have aligned, it's our time to shine. Yeah, this is our moment. Are you ready for it?
Are you ready? Get ready. Are you ready?
Are you ready for it?
Are you ready? Get ready. Are you ready?
Are you ready for it? All the stars have aligned, it's our time to shine. Yeah, this is our moment. Are you ready for it? Yeah, we finally arrived. Yeah, we're right on time. Yeah, this is our moment. Are you ready for it?
Welcome to round 3 of the Type S scores presented by AutoZone of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. But this is a long weekend because guess what? We have our first round of the Link Engine Management, the Link ECU Prospec Championship. Knockout qualifying is going down today. Knockout qualifying brought to you by FCP Euro, the official sponsor of the Link ECU Prospec Championship. And if you don't know about FCP Euro, get your cart ready for summer with FCP Euro's summer kickoff sale happening this weekend only. Head over to fcpeuro.com and save up to 20% on OE, OEM, aftermarket straight goods that you can find on pro cars out here, as well as pro spec, and of course your vehicle as well. So this is the first round of the Formula Drift Link ECU Prospec Championship. I am Jared Deenda. Joining me in the booth is Ryan Lontaine, as Ryan Lontaine is doing triple duty. He's a judge. He's a judge in Prospec, and he is now my co-host up here in the booth. He's been in the booth for multiple years. How many years again, exact?
Since 2011.
Since 2011. Do the math. That's 11 years. That's how good we are on that. This is the 11th year. Again, I'm Jared Deenda, Ryan Lontaine here, and again, today it's a long weekend. Here we are Thursday, and we're going into knockout qualifying for Prospec.
Yeah.
Lot of excitement here. I mean, these guys and gals have been building up to, you know, we got Amanda Sorensen here, you know, who else do we have? Other
Dmitriy
females.
Brutskiy. Oh, you're talking about females.
Yeah,
You said females,
yeah,
I was already
okay.
thinking.
It's all right.
Kelsey Rowlings.
Kelsey Rowlings, that's what I was thinking
That's the
of.
other one.
But Dmitriy Brutskiy, man, this guy is going for his 3rd in a row Prospec Championship. But
Yep.
what are some other standout drivers? You saw them practice. Actually, I literally just flew in as our judge was striping the track.
Striping the track. We're getting the track lined up. You know what? It's a little more difficult for me with Prospec because this is our first round. And we always have new drivers with new liveries.
Yeah.
And it's trying to match the name to the car right now that's a little more challenging. But we did see some good runs from Jagger. He's easy to see with that, you know, Chris Forsberg livery 370Z. But he's definitely one that I saw that looked pretty solid. We have some new drivers that, like there's a new driver from Brazil that's here, Mitzi. He's driving a BRZ, but he's had some issues with the car, so he didn't really get any practice in. And we have a few people that, you know, have been kind of standouts in the series for a few years now that they're back again that are looking really strong as well. But this track, I think is a nice entry for the Prospec as their first round of 2022.
We were literally talking about that. You, me, and Eggert were talking about. I think this is a great introduction. You know, given that Long Beach definitely don't want to send them into the Wolves, right? And then Atlanta, that's an intimidating track. But our schedule here, this is how the Pro Championship lays out. And within that, the Prospec, we have 4 rounds within the 8 that are the Prospec Championship. So Orlando, E-Town, they join us in Utah as well as with St. Louis. Correct.
That's
so
right.
St. Louis and in Utah. So 4 in a row, minus Monroe, Washington. But yeah, so again, taking a look at this track, it might look fairly easy, but let's take a look at a torque drift course preview. Ryan, walk us through the outer zones, inner zones, what we're looking for.
Yeah, with the new style qualifying, X factor is going to be big here on initiation and the transition. So that initiation, you got to be big and snappy. You got to get by inside clip 1 with angle, but maintaining momentum. By inside clip 2, again, big angle, but maintaining momentum. That transition happens just after or as you go over that jump that's in the middle of the track.
I was going to say, it looks so smooth in the game.
It does, but it's not like that at all. If you look at the track, they actually have a white line painted across it where that crest is, so drivers know when to expect that jump. And it can unsettle the chassis quite a bit. And it does unsettle some chassis more than others. So you see some drivers go through there and they look, you know, pretty unperturbed, but then others get all, you know, in the air basically, and when they land, it's a little tricky.
Yeah, it gets disrupted, might spin them out if they come unbound or something. But that's a layout of how the scoring is breaking down. You can see the style score, initiation, transition. You talk about that X factor, and then going to line and angle. So 30 in style, 30 in angle, and now 40 is line. And with it being bookend, 2 outside zones and 2 inner clips in the middle, little inner clip ice cream sandwich here, just a little Oreos on the end.
Each outside zone is worth 14 points each. You can see there each outside zone is broken into 2 sectors each. They're both worth 7, so 14 each there, and then the inside clips are both worth 6 points apiece. And you see 5s all around there. That's for the angle. 5 points per sector for the angle score, which is a total of 30 points.
It's good. It's pretty straightforward, but this is flat. That's 2D right there. But then you actually see the car run on the track, and like you said, that white line, that jump, all that. Get into the show. As of right now, we have 32 drivers going into qualifying. We were intended to have 37, some no-shows, some vehicles weren't prepared, but showing up here, round 1 of this Link ECU Prospec Championship, round 1, we have 32 drivers. So basically, everybody will get in as long as you don't get 2 incompletes.
Exactly.
And I think that makes for a good introduction into the season, the 2022 season. It's a pretty straightforward track. I think, this track has created some dynamic moments. One of the most standout moments, obviously, Jonathan Castro. But just overall, I'm getting excited. Getting pumped?
Always pumped for this.
Yes, I am. And here are our FCP Euro keys to success. What are you looking for, Ryan?
Like I said earlier, that fast, snappy initiation. We were looking for something incredible because, like we said, this track's a little more simple, but those things that are important, such as the initiation and transition, need to be done really well to stand out. We want the bumper on the wall in outside zone 1, not crushing the back of the car into the wall, but just kind of kissing the wall with the bumper all the way around. We need a high degree of angle while maintaining momentum at both inside clips, and we need that big transition in the infield. Like I keep repeating, initiation, transition. Once you get the car set in the zones, you can just kind of let it ride on throttle. You got to get the right throttle adjustment and steering, but it's really the initiation and the transition that's we're going to be focusing on.
Just to bring more clarity to that, because this is what comes to mind for me, is that transition going from inside clip 1 to inside clip 2 over that hip, that lip right in that ridge right in the middle. Should they do something? We talk about X factor, but they want it to be consistent going into head-to-head as well tomorrow, correct?
Absolutely.
So you can't do something crazy, wacky, gangster, big snap and like hanging out, because then it's going to be kind of unchaseable.
It won't be chaseable, exactly. So that's why I was saying earlier, the angle at inside clip 1 has to be big, but it has to maintain momentum. So it's always that balance of not too little angle where you're going really fast. And we did see some drivers in practice that were using these inside clips, going by them with the fender, front fender, not the front bumper. We're really looking for the bumper, the front bumper, to go by the inside clip. But again, maintaining momentum, staying on throttle, and then going from that high degree of angle to another high degree of angle as you transition to get by inside clip number 2.
If for somebody that's tuning in, they might have a family member, they've never seen drifting before, what is knockout qualifying compared to maybe previous years of just kind of standardized 2 runs, take the higher of the 2? What is knockout compared to previous years?
Well, you started there by explaining previously we did 2 runs. Every single driver in the field was supposed to do 2 runs, and it took a very long time. And we felt like everybody in the first run, not everybody, but a lot of drivers in the first run would be sort of conservative, and then they would pour it on in the second run if they had, you know, a decent score in the first one. And now that we've gone to this knockout qualifying, your first run is so important. You have to put down a really high-level run to get yourself positioned highly in the ranks. So even if you get let's say a 0 on your first run and you go to your second run, if you score 100 in your second run, the best you can do is whatever the bottom 8 is, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that break is. So you can only get as high as whatever the breakdown is on the driver count. So it really puts a lot of emphasis on that first run. You want to get your 100 on the first run right out of the gate, so you don't have to do a second run. And if you get a second
25th.
Yeah.
That's the highest you can do is 25th. Given we have 32 drivers, for instance, today, 32 drivers, it would be the highest you can get is 25th.
Right.
And we've
exactly.
seen that. You
And
know,
it has happened, definitely.
Yeah, we saw it with Justin Pollock, JTP, because I like what you said. It really adds to kind of the show overall and just kind of one and done. Just do it, get your point. And because now there are points at stake for qualifying. In previous years, we did not have that. So just changing the format, changing things up a little bit. I mean, it still has the biggest element and kind of the essence of drifting and Formula Drift is the head-to-head.
Well, we've heard other drivers, let's say drivers from other series. There's a J.R. Hildebrand that came in from IndyCar, and he was competing in a Camaro years ago now, but he said that he was more stressed coming into a qualifying session at Formula Drift than he was at the Indy 500.
Tanner Faust has said that, and he's 2-time champion.
Exactly, yeah. The drivers of that caliber are worried. So if you take our typical qualifying session where you had 2 runs and they were saying that, now we're down to really 1 run to get it set high in the ranking.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Well, you could feel it. You could feel the humidity, that's for darn sure.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we will kick things off here at the Type S Scorch, presented by AutoZone. This is round 1 of the Link ECU Prospec Championship.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. 'Cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah. On the way. I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
All right, and there it is. That is Dmitriy Brutskiy, your 2-time defending champion. And he's picked up a new sponsor, Drift HQ, the Drift HQ Link ECU, ISC suspension, NK wheels, M3, and he's on Royal Purple. Speaking of Royal Purple, as we enter the top 32, brought to you by GT Radio, the official tire of the Prospec Championship, Royal Purple is offering a large contingency. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Is Dmitry just going to go one and done? We haven't seen him in a year. Let's see what he throws down. All right, Dmitry Brutskiy initiates, big angle there, little correction there, angle coming out of it. And this is what we're talking about, that impact, that X factor right out of the gate. Slamming down. All right, see, watch how much. See, didn't affect his attitude too much. He saw a quick little correction, but back on track. hammering down. Well done there, just putting it right in that crease. Minimal corrections on that second outer zone. Really good run, a great way to start, and a good indication of kind of, you know, a measuring tape. You know, like when you go up and put a sticker on a wall, that's kind of a, you know, maybe somebody a little bit higher, but that's pretty high up there.
This is where I'm putting the sticker. You
Yep.
need to now beat it.
Yep.
Yeah, he did have a couple of corrections out there. It's not the precise run that we have seen from him in practice or maybe even in the past. He did make a couple of little mistakes there, but hopefully get a quick replay and we can see what those little issues were.
Yeah.
Definitely at initiation, going through outside zone 1, you could see that the car was moving around quite a bit. It wasn't as settled as you would like it to be. He was on the left foot, you know, braking with his left foot around outside zone 1 a little bit, and then as he went over that little jump in the infield there, you could see that he had to pull some angle out and then put the angle in. So look at his initiation,
Just front
left
right.
foot brake, and then you can see the car moving around. It's gripping up, and he's trying to get it to rotate a little bit more. So comes by the inside clip. Let's watch this transition. Right
Not
there,
too-
you can see,
just
you can see
slightly,
that the
but
pull
what-
weight
you know,
angle.
yeah.
Yeah. And then as he comes through outside zone 2, the car does look a little bit more settled through there, and he's just inside, maybe about a foot on that outside line for outside zone number 2.
All right, so as Ryan's going to deliberate kind of in his own head about what's going on. Like I said, there's a few contingency options for our drivers. I was talking about Royal Purple, as Royal Purple has a guaranteed payout each round. They got $500 for first, $300 for second, $200 for third, and then $2,000 for the top finisher at the end of the year. And a big one also is FCP Euro. They are offering each Prospec round the highest finishing European car, $500 in FCP Euro credit. Second highest finishing European car, $300, and the third highest finishing European car, $200. And then the overall highest finishing European car, $10,000 cash from FCP Euro. They are a official sponsor of the Link ECU Prospec Championship. All right. And Dmitriy Brutskiy, as we are seeing TLO in that M-Spec S14.5. Now, he is somebody who's really just stepped it up. He's a contender in the championship last year. And really somebody to watch, I think, again this year. He's going to be going for it. And you know TLO. You've seen him drift up there in Canada, and he's really just progressed and really earned his spot here in Formula Drift.
I like clicking my pen, Jared.
I'm reaching over and grabbing Ryan's pen.
I will stop clicking my pen.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Robbie.
I just
Ryan.
enjoyed it. Yeah. Right.
Last round, we'll share with this. We're waiting for the scores to update as you put your score. All right, and Dmitry gets a 78. His 78 is input. Our lovable Robbie Nishida over in Japan, he was judging. I'm watching the live stream, and you can hear click, 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 click. We all literally messaged him. Stop clicking your pen. Here goes TLO from Canada. Woo! Tommy Lemaire with a big initiation. Let's see if he can stick it to the wall. Not all the way up there, but I love the Mr. Angry Eyes here. Looks like a Mr. Potato Head as comes down. You see little jump, so he did the same thing that Dmitry did. Like I said, that's going to be kind of our unit of measure. TLO almost exceeds that line, but then you see it right there. So really well done by Tommy Lemaire. That thing is uncorked. It sounds really good. And the Mr. Potato Head references, I'm going to give you my Angry Eyes.
Angry Eyes, yeah, he puts them on.
Thank you. I know
Yes,
you're an animation fan. I knew you'd
absolutely.
get that.
Yeah, TLO, that car sounds interesting.
It sounds nasty.
It's very baritone. It's not like a really high revving kind of angry sound. But
Yeah.
it's very low. So let's watch his initiation. On throttle, big flick. Not really as high as you'd like to see him on outside zone 1. You can see that his line is suffering there a little bit. Maybe too much grip in the car. Comes off the bank pretty well as he gets over the jump. Just a very slight correction on the wheel, but car looks really settled. He's on throttle. It does look like he's right in the groove around outside zone number 1 and number 2. Sorry, outside zone number 2 there. So look pretty solid from TLO.
Love the way he drives. Like you said, just the tone of that car sounds angry as we get our next competitor entering in. Austin Matta. It don't matter. Racing Nissan S14. Shakopee, Maryland. And Austin, like I said, finished third overall in 87. So the defending champion is bettered by TLO, our second driver. And Austin had just had those moments last year. And you got to think, what are your thoughts? Pro versus pro spec. Is it better to have 8 rounds or is it better to have 4 rounds?
Well, you get less seat time with 4, but it's also more manageable mentally and financially, of course. You know, traveling all over the place can be a little bit stressful and financially straining. But this is an area where you grow, so you can move up to 4 to 8 rounds.
All right, here we go. Austin Matta goes into that first outside zone and does a great job. He is really high in the bank, consistent throttle all the way through. Attitude of the car, not heavily disrupted. Again, all those guys, seems that they're all having to do that way off of that second inside clip. Now goes to that final outside zone, riding the lightning. And Austin does a great job, pulls it all the way through. Liked him on the first outside zone. I think he was kind of the most aggressive and the least corrections, but the center portion, the double stuff of the inside clips. What do you think?
He did a really great job on outside zone 1. He was high, the highest anybody's been so far. Not that we've had a lot of drivers so far, but so far he's the best on outside zone 1. He put the car up high and he looked confident up there. He was on throttle. He didn't have any movement in the car for the most part while he was up there. So let's watch his initiation. Pretty quick flick. He didn't quite get the big flick that TLO had, but he definitely got it speed-wise. Did a good job. He was up on zone 1. And then watch the transition here. Little jump. Very slight movement in the front wheel, but he did miss inside clip number 2. It put him off a little bit on outside zone number 2. You can see him going a little bit wide there, but overall a clean, smooth run.
All right, so some places to make some corrections, but it is a run. I think, where do you think that'll land him? I mean, I know you're putting in your score right now as we see Alex Jagger.
Yeah, it'll probably be better Tommy's online. Just for outside zone 1, the amount of points that are there compared to inside clip 2.
I always butcher his last name. Jagger.
Is it Jagger?
No.
No.
It's Jagger.
Jagger.
All right. Well, always he's been in Chris Forsberg's head, wrapping out with him. He's been spotting for him lately, and he's been really enjoying it. So that's, I think, a great contribution to Chris got second in Atlanta. So Alex, he's been clamoring, man. He's been ready to get at it. So his ladies in his ear, wrapping out with him, telling him what he needs to do. But Alex, a fierce competitor, piloting that Forsberg Racing, NOS Energy Drink, Nissan 370Z, coming to us from New Jersey. And we are awaiting the scores as Alex waits patiently, potentially impatiently here. Okay, and the scores are in, and that is an 84 for Austin Matta. And here comes Alex. Pop lock and ready to rock. He's that start line. Comes to the outside zone, cuts his teeth at Englishtown Raceway, where the next round of the Formula Drift Link ECU Prospec Championship will be, as Alex handles that. Again, all these drivers having to correct just slightly to get in that second inside clip. Does a really good job in that second outside zone. You know, the darker colored wheels, you don't see the wheel correction, so it kind of helps them, but they do need one spoke on each wheel that are marked.
Not in Prospec.
Not in Prospec.
No, sir.
Wow.
As you can see, he's got.
That's why I was wondering about it. I couldn't see him. I was like,
the rule has not been implemented in Prospec yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just over here, clicking my pen.
Just click
taking
your pen.
notes.
I'm just the messenger, Jared.
No, I know. But believe me, I know that feeling all too well.
I would love there to be stripes in Prospec. So hopefully one day we will have them.
Moving on.
Let's
take a look at it again.
Replay. I did not really love his initiation. So if you watch here, the snap was not very snappy. I'd love to see a more aggressive initiation from him here. You can see that he's fighting grip in the car. It looks way too grippy on the bank, but as he transitions here again, transition not very stylish, not very aggressive, not very exciting to watch. It just seems like a safe run. Line-wise, he's doing okay, but in terms of angle and in terms of style, I think his score is going to suffer.
Colored wheels, you don't see the wheel corrections.
Well,
So
you
kind
being
of
a style
helps them,
judge,
but
I think
they
you'd,
do need one spoke on
you'd
each
need a teller
wheel
of that.
So Alex awaits a score. But if you're talking about line overall, he said he's that's where a majority of the points are at, 40, 30, 30. 18, 24, 36. Only she's 5'3". And a new sponsor here for Ben Hobson. You can see Coro Works on the side of Ben Hobson's ride. Coro Works sponsoring Novak as well. And it is a 78 for Alex. 78 for Alex, so he matches the 78 that Dmitriy Brutskiy had, our defending champion. So again, the judges looking for that aggressive initiation. So spotters and drivers take note as Ben Hobson goes in for his first run of our knockout qualifying. Brought to you by FTP Euro. Ooh, drops down on that bank. You want him to hang out on that wall as long as he can, at least until the cone is. Good jump mid-track, and now coming to that final outside zone.
That's an aggressive run, Jared.
Yeah, that was nice, man. I liked what he did right there, and you could just hear consistency all the way through.
Yes. His initiation was better. He was more committed on his initiation. The car looked more settled, I think, during the initiation, and he got the car to the amount of angle that he carried through the rest of the corner. So it's not like he had to take away angle or add some angle because he misjudged his initiation. So I think he did fairly solid initiation. Let's watch it here as he initiates up to the initiation. Oh, right there. The wheels came out of angle quite a bit. You have a lot of left foot brakes. So hail the replay. This helps a lot. Let's watch the transition. Got some air. Very settled there. You can see that he had no corrections on the steering wheel, but then he was off on line in outside zone number 2. So definitely could be in the first section. So the first section of line there is 7 points on the first sector and 7 points for the second sector. And you can see on early in outside zone 2, he was off quite a bit, but then he worked the car wide for the second half.
So that's where you need to take that compromise into consideration. And it's knee-jerk. It just needs to be reactionary, where when you go over that hip, over the jump, mid-track, do you compromise and make that small correction to get yourself set up for success on that second inside clip and that outside zone? Or do you kind of just go off a little bit and then stay on the throttle and have that cleaner line?
And a lot of car setup comes into play as well when you're looking at coming off the outside zone 1, dropping down onto the flat area. You can see some cars get really upset. The attitude of the car, it gets disturbed by coming down there. It bottoms out and it bounces and can throw the car off. And the same thing goes for that jump in the transition. So some cars are just set up to soak those up better than others.
Rich Whiteman, definitely one to watch. Has a great looking car, the JZX 100. Freedom Motorsports, Coro Works supporting him as well. And it's a 78 for Hobson, so it seems to be, that's 3 drivers now with 78. So flick it to impress. Don't stress to impress. Keep it clean, keep it tight, go high. Minimal corrections. Let's see what Rich Whiteman's got for us. Rich initiates. See that? Look at that. Minimal corrections. Man, locked and loaded. There might be some green paint on that back bumper from Rich Whiteman. Handles the jump. Slows down, so that might be a slight, I think that's a good compromise. Control the car. Speed is not a factor. It's fluidity, right? And that's a very chaseable run. We might have a new leader right now. That was a really good run there. Knocks off that back bumper. Solid run there from Rich Whiteman.
Yeah, that was a clean run. Looked much more confident than the last couple of runs that we saw. On throttle, car was placed well.
Go high.
So let's look at the initiation here
Minimal correction.
as he drives up in that beautiful JZX 100 Chaser. Great initiation, not all the way high right away, but definitely works the car up mid to late first sector. And of course, the second sector was really well done. The transition was pretty solid. Little bounce there, but the car looked settled once the suspension settled in. And then riding right in that groove around outside zone number 2.
Boink. Loses that back bumper. I know you love the JZX100. Big car to manage here.
Yes.
A lot of bumper to play with.
A lot of overhang. So
yeah.
of course that clip, the marker there at the end is going to get hit.
Rich Whiteman pulls off track. As now we got Pretty Ricky Hoffman here. The wire car, S14.9. Waiting scores here for Rich. Burnout box coming up. There we go, the wire care Cora works. And pulled up. And it's an 88 for Rich Whiteman. Ricky Hoffman at the start line. And there is Rich and his score of an 88. So yeah, with that score, it jumps up to our #1 position. And like I said, do we have a new leader? Yes, we do. So there's the answer.
Yep. By 1 point over Tommy Lemaire.
Okay. And Pretty Ricky Hoffman. Cones, not a big deal. Qualifying, not an issue. Just FYI, if you're a former good fan. Kind of slow roll into it. Like you're talking about that X factor, throws a little more angle at it. Hangs out on that bank for quite a while, but still makes inside clip 1, but does not make 2. Gets off shaky, very shallow on outside zone number 2. Does go all the way through, full pull, but a lot of points still out there on track available.
Yeah, that was not an accurate run. Looking at the initiation, we were talking about the ideal style for an initiation, and we do want it to be quick to angle. We want it to be aggressive, kind of explosive,
Yep.
boom, kind of a initiation.
In your face.
And that one looked a little more subdued. The straight line initiation, it's difficult to get the car to rotate really well, and he's going to have to be careful there in competition with hitting cones because that's not going to fly. But look at his initiation, really slow roll to angle. And then while he's going through outside zone 1, very poor angle through the beginning of it, and then starts to pour on a little more angle near the end of that zone. Transition, not very dynamic either, not very exciting. And then goes a tire off, misses inside clip 2, way on the inside of outside zone 2. So yes, he did get a full pull, but he's definitely going to lose some points for the mistakes that he's made around the track.
Yeah. I do love to call him Pretty Ricky Hoffman, but unfortunately that was not a Pretty Ricky run, as we saw. And that will be reflected in a score. Look at this big old Pedal Commander logo on the side. A new title sponsor here for Evan Bogovich. The Pedal Commander S chassis, the former vehicle of Bogovich. And there we go, 61. So unfortunately, Ricky sitting now at the bottom of the dog pile. We might have to see Ricky run again with a score like that. Again, you just don't want to be in the bottom 8. So if you have your second run, the highest you qualify, you have to go to the not so great 8, as I lovingly have called it and deemed it. You can't get any higher than 25th.
That's right.
And there is our leaderboard as the FCP Euro knockout qualifying continues. Evan Bogovich, he's been a busy man. He's seen him at pro rounds of competition, just a sponge, a thirst for knowledge, as again shadowing a lot of what Bogovich does. Let's see what Bogovich has got. Yo, Pedal Commander, he is the Pedal Commander right now. Stomps it down into the flat portion, over the hip and through the woods. Ooh, way off of that inside clip 2, that throws him off. That's going to be affecting his line score, but liking the style. That was a no holds barred from the top rope, but unfortunately he missed his opponent when he, like when the wrestler's on the top rope and jumps down and then like
There's nothing there but ground.
Yeah.
But he was aggressive. He was on throttle. Aggressive. He was committed. Did a great job in outside zone 1. Let's watch his initiation. As he's driving up to the initiation point here, you can see him drop down and then flick the car up. Little handbrake pull on throttle right away. Really committed on throttle through outside zone 1. You can see him drop off a little bit near the end of it. And then inside clip number 1, good job. Transition fairly solid. He got the car to angle and maintained it. Missed it inside clip number 2, and then pretty decent liner on outside zone number 2. So he did some moments of brilliance there, but also a couple of little off sections for sure.
But a great place to start the season for Evan Bogovich. I think it'll be in the 70s still, but missed that outside zone 2. Steve Misko, seeing a new livery and a new sponsor here at Rowdy's, the Misko Motorsports S14. And awaiting the score here for Evan Bogovich. What do we got?
Jared, what's Rowdy's?
I don't know.
No.
I'm seeing Rowdy's Garage.
Rowdy's Garage, all right.
Yeah.
It's a garage.
It is a garage.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see some new supporters. As an 85 puts him in a number 3 position. So I was thinking 70s for sure, but that's nice. That I think, again, you could see style 23 as you are the style judge. Angle and line, so some room to grow, but I think, you know what? He's going to grow tomorrow because he's going to be in 32. Misko, see what you got. Let's see if the Rowdy's Garage, Misko, S-Chassis, kind of lacking some angle, some height as by comparison to his other competitors. Live up to that Rowdy name. Let's see it. Rowdy Piper. On the pipe, on the chip, as Misko crosses the finish line. Again, just kind of offline here and there.
Yeah, outside zone 1 was not ideal. You could see that there was a lack of angle as he was coming around outside zone 1. And, we've talked to the drivers in the past. We've talked to their spotters. Why is your car so tight? Why isn't it a little more loose? Why isn't it a little easier to drive? And especially here in qualifying or even in competition, there's no speed gun anywhere. Speed's not important, but that desire to go fast and kind of get away from the chase car is overwhelming sometimes. So you can see the initiation, a bit of a slow roll to initiation. Right here, you can see the angle suffering, the line. He's down below the white line there with the front right tire. And not ideal there. The transition was okay. And here you can see some movement in the car as well, as his line is not ideal. So he's inside quite a bit through outside zone number 2. So the accuracy was not there throughout the run, and he's going to have to clean that up going into tomorrow's competition for sure.
Is that enough to land him in the top 24? As Misko waits, and we're seeing coming all the way from Las Vegas, the TNBC BMW, Blake Olsen. TNBC CoroWorks vehicle, still involved with CoroWorks. You can see Elton, the spaceman, on the roof of his vehicle. Great looking car. A lot of BMWs in the mix this year, and I think that really makes sense that FCP Euro involved with the Prospec Championship, again offering contingency. A large purse for every round. So it's a $1,000 purse for each round, and then overall the highest finishing European car, $10,000 from FCP Euro.
That's a big one.
That's great. That's significant.
Yeah, we were so surprised when we heard that in the briefing this morning, and I think some eyebrows went up.
It's awesome.
Some guys sitting there, some of the competitors thinking, why didn't I build a BMW this year?
Right. All right. So look at that Tactical Night Vision Company. I want to see him drift at night with the TNBC.
Yeah. You put some, maybe make the lines out of fire so you can see them with the,
no, you don't
heated
need
somehow.
them.
You don't need them?
You don't need them. So the whole thing.
Night vision doesn't go off of heat?
Well, yeah. I mean, warm. Yeah, warm.
Warmth.
Yes, it does go off warmth.
Okay. So,
So
maybe
yeah, I guess
fire's too
you're
much,
right.
maybe.
Yeah, just like a little LED light or something.
Oh, light would be good. Oh, something that throws
you
off
went
some
like
heat.
more primal. You're like, dude, fireworks. All right. But some kids don't even know that laugh. 73 for Misko, as he's got his twin brother out. I believe his twin brother's here. Misko's in the mix. 73. Balake Olsen. See what Bay's got. Again, coming all the way cross country from Las Vegas. Blake initiates hard. Goes into the bank. You see that right foot brake coming down into that inside clip. See how he handles the jump. Swings a bit wide. See that jump again. It throws a lot of the drivers off. We were talking about that earlier before qualifying even began, and it really upset some vehicles. Wow. Liked how he ended it. I liked how he ended and started just, again, in the middle. Not too bad on the inside clip, but that jump, that practice is going to be crucial.
Yeah, it depends where you are on the track as you go over that jump for how aggressive the jump is. We want them mid to wide line over the jump. So right at the center section of the course there. We don't want them too far left. Should be mid-track or a little further to the right. So let's watch Blake running up to initiation here. Good job of getting the car to angle and getting up on outside zone 1. You can see his angle is not ideal through there. As you said, a little left foot brake to keep the car at angle. Coming through here, not a great angle through there, but his transition was pretty solid. He went to a good degree of angle. So some good moments and some not so good moments throughout the run. You can see that his line was pretty good there as he came through the last sector of outside zone number 2. So definitely some areas to improve on, but pretty solid overall run.
Blake Olsen pulls off, and our next driver, Javier Martinez. Javi, the 4-1 Motorsports S14 from Tucson. Waiting for Blake's score, and there it is, an 83. 83.
Blake doesn't have a picture.
I saw Larry and his team getting headshots, Larry Chen, getting headshots for tomorrow.
Good.
FCP Euro knockout qualifying continues as Martinez comes out. Let's see what we got here, Javier. Man, ripping down the straight. It seems like he's a man on a mission right now. Martinez on a mission. Watch this jump. See, struggles a little bit of speed. Takes him out of it. Almost got up to that first line. Got to about the second and a half. Quick little correction as you saw, inside the cabin, you saw his hands just moving a slight bit just to make sure it stays on track.
Did you like it, Jared?
I liked this. I did.
Yeah,
that was
outside zone 1 was
outside zone 1 was
throttle.
Yeah.
He was high on outside zone 1 as well. So pretty aggressive in the first portion of the track. Let's watch the replay as he comes up to initiation. Initiation could have been snappier, could have been a little quicker, but look at his throttle usage and look at his line. Pretty high up there, looked pretty solid. Coming off the bank, the car moves around quite a bit. As he transitions here, right there you can see him pull a little bit of angle out.
Right.
Wasn't the worst coming up to inside clip 2, but just a slight correction. Right rear tire, right in the groove all the way around outside zone 2, so good job on line there.
Javier Martinez awaits the score. Should be Talaska, and it is. Corey Talaska, SLR Speed, E36 BMW, another Bimmer in the mix. Waiting the score for Javi Martinez, an 81. An 81 for Martinez. Speaking of contingencies, another one is Throttle. I don't know if you know about Throttle, but it's Throttle with a D, THRODLE. It's a premier social app where people can connect, talk about cars without ads or unwanted content. This community of engaged car and motorsports fans can connect with each other. Their shared passion of cars, groups, experiences, all around automotive culture. So it's all in one app. Check out Throttle, THRODLE. They got $4 grand up for grabs as well. And Talaska. Little flick pre-entry. Oh boy. That could have been a lot worse than for Talaska. That back left. Look at the, see the caster? Yeah, I think he might have.
He got away lucky on that one, Jared. That could have been way worse.
Yeah. So that's, I have to assume that's an incomplete. That's an unchaseable run.
That definitely, he's straightened,
Yeah.
and yeah, that'll be an incomplete. Yeah, you can see the camber there. Oof, yeah, definitely some damage. But managed to continue throughout the course. Let's watch the replay and see
Yeah,
what
watch the
happened.
replay, see what went south. So that could be our first incomplete, which is saying something, you know. We're seeing some good driving. So yeah, it's an incomplete for Talaska. But definitely want to take a look at it again. As up next would be Chen out of Chen, Nathaniel Chen. The NCR 86. Checking the track, seeing what's going down. Seeing a lot of Nate Chen as well. Spot for a pro driver. New livery for him. This thing's a big beast here. And Chen, one more turn and burn, pull up to the line. See what we got for Nate Chen. All right, here comes Nathaniel Chen. Got a new livery here. Let's see what we got for Chen. Flips it in. Not as high as we'd like. Good angle, though. You see he's hitting that center line on the bank. Tightens really close to the inner clip one. Way off the inner clip two, unfortunately, for Nathaniel. Now into that second and final outside zone. Perfect there. Just rode that line.
Yeah, that line on outside zone one is not ideal. No. He's going to definitely have some deductions on line there from the line judge for sure.
As Nate Chen awaits his score. The NCR Toyota 86. Nate Chen Racing. It's good to see him back, and I'm sure he's gained a wealth of knowledge as being around the pro pits. And here is our qualifying leaderboard. Rich Whiteman, top of the heap, TLO, and Bogovich, 1, 2, and 3. Then you see Matta, Olsen, Brutskiy. But you can't win in qualifying. You want to take it into tomorrow's competition. And for Prospec, they have 32-16, and then it goes down. And it's a 74 for Nate Chen. You can see line 30, angle 25, style 19. Go next with Rudy Hansen. Rudy Hansen, Team Hansen, anti-gravity batteries. Saw him last weekend out at Hyperfest. Rudy Hansen saw him earlier in practice, riding the wall for sure. So he's definitely capable of putting down a good run. Just getting that car, you know, it's always good to have the same car from season to season. You progressively get better, get more familiar with the car, and proof positive right there. Doesn't get all the way up there, but we just saw, you know, Nate Chen throw down a mid-70s, and that's going to be incomplete. So our second incomplete here, Talaska and Rudy Hansen. So unfortunately, comes unwound. Easy there, Bogovich. Sometimes these guys pedal down on and off track. As Hansen receives an incomplete, we'll see him in the not so great 8. He'll have that second chance again. As we said earlier, can't do any better than 25th place. A new sponsor, new livery for Amanda Sorensen. One of two females here in competition. Great to see her back out. Her brother Brandon Sorensen raised a lot of eyebrows in the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Amanda warming up her tires, getting them ready. Another Las Vegas driver. There we go, warming them up. The GT radials, and heads over to the start line. This family gets a lot of seat time from on-road, off-road, karting, even their little brother as well. They're the Sorensen trio. They're doing a lot of motorsport out there in Las Vegas and across the country. Here comes Amanda Sorensen. Made a debut of the United States Air Force. BMW. Oh, she gets into it and hits the wall. And Amanda Sorensen goes hard into the wall, and that is very unfortunate. What a bummer. So there's another incomplete, and now the work begins. Can she get it back together? Want to make sure she's okay.
Definitely some damage there. They're going to have to get the tow truck, I'm guessing, to help her get off.
Oh, the wheel, look at that. The wheel broke.
Yeah, the wheel broke. Wow.
All right, so fire on scene. It's just it's not good for the ego, you know, just coming out here, unfortunately, going to the wall right out of the gate. She's definitely a capable driver. We've seen some great things from her, but I think she just.
Yeah, she was looking really solid in practice. It just comes down to trying to do one run after having sat for 30, 40 minutes, getting out on track and trying to repeat exactly what you did, a few runs ago or 20, 30, 40 minutes ago. Sometimes it's not easy to perform at that high level, when you're trying to put down a high scoring qualifying run because you don't want to come out here and do a second run.
Gutted for Amanda. And right now we're seeing, you can see Misko sitting in 11th, Whiteman sitting atop, Lemaire, Bogovich, Matta, Olsen, Brutskiy, Martinez, Jagger, Hobson, and Chen, top 10. So here we take a look at it again. Here's where it went wrong. So initiates, looks like she, really aggressive. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, you can see there was a lack of angle in the car when she initiated, and maybe because the angle wasn't there, the car went a little straighter than she anticipated. And it could just be playing with different grip levels on the track after having sat for a little while. The sun is sort of setting here. Is it setting? It's behind the clouds somewhere. So it's not maybe as hot out there, as sunny as it was, specifically on that track, because the sun does set on the backside over there. So the wall kind of blocks whatever sunshine is left. And it could be a cool area there, or it just could be the car didn't react the way she expected it to on initiation.
Yeah, unfortunate turn of events, or not a turn down the track. Amanda Sorensen goes hard to the wall in her United States Air Force BMW. When we come back, we'll continue with round 1 of the Link ECU Prospec Championship.
Rockstar Energy Drink. This is Matt Wall, the Twin Turbo 350Z. Tanner fast going through the paces. Solid line here. Great angle. Woo! Good initiation from Dot. Did you see that fake flip entry? Just gangster right there.
Good job right there by Aasbo, but look at Odie Bochy's diving right in on the attack.
Positioning now. Ryan Turf really needs to show up. He went off course. Tightens it up to the front flip. As is Freddie. The Norwegian hammer gets sweated by Denofa. And then he just keeps on going past. And Frederick Aasbo fills all that outside zone. Michael, that's a right there.
Look at him roll tide. Here we go.
Final outside zone line. Pretty straightforward.
Outside zone. Frederick Aasbo right there.
And now bringing around that final flip.
Approaching, pulling some tire up. So qualifying playing a role here in Long Beach.
Ain't nowhere to hide. You ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind. 'Cause I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. On the way. Yeah. On the way. I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
Welcome to Long Beach and our blowers and water. Cleaning up water on the track in sunny California.
3 hours later.
Who was it? Sorensen. Spun out in front of me on the wall. Just cut some wires out of Dylan's car when he's not here. Taking down the bus. Yeah.
Just enough to scale. Look, we scuffed just the bumper molding and like less than a dime size of the bumper. That's the perfect amount. It is. It was nice. It was squishy and heck yeah, kept on going.
But that was thrilling for you guys. It's a thrilling repair.
You guys really turned some wrenches there.
You find anything exciting?
No.
No.
It seems it would be fine leaving here and then he'd idle it in there for a little bit and it would just mess up. So yeah. Trying to
It sounds like temperature related, but also seems mechanical. But then again, it also seems not mechanical.
no data.
To rewire the car front to back and replace everything and rebuild the car and just get a new car.
Build a new car, dude. This one's cracked.
Build a new car. Totally get a new car. I'll take this one home and take care of it for you. You don't need anything from this one.
No.
You don't want to bother yourself with those things.
Everything is bad.
Oh, it's the metal part. Can we not open it the way yet?
Oh yeah, it's right there.
Yeah,
It
it's
caved in the fender underneath it. God. Adventures with Rome. How are you doing today?
Good.
How's the track?
It's drippy until Outerville 3.
Really?
It's also extremely drippy compared to what I've ever had to drive, so it feels really good.
Awesome. So good news.
Oh, yeah.
Good decision. Hell yeah.
You in? Yeah. I don't think you're in. Can I take this one too? Let me do this one. Let me both. Hey guys, we just have to put back the Allens on the gearbox side, and then we go.
Allen's on the gearbox side and we go.
Alright, go.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
This is supposed to be
2 minutes. You break both axles?
Both CV joints in the same time.
Wow.
And the spline shattered in the hub, so it gave us that hard time. I had everything ready.
So you have to change the hub, or you just beat the spines out?
No, I beat the splines out, and now it looks like that spline is not grabbing.
Hello, hi. Meyer's probably going to call 5, so you'll be up sooner than you think. So whenever you want to roll, go for it. Awesome. Thank you.
You gotta take the whole thing off from it.
How about you don't hold it up quick?
And guess what? I gotta get a shout out because you haven't seen the lead custom pins. That inside flip, but definitely
All right, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
All right.
Motor. I didn't tell Jeff. So to see that, see the porcelain? That was the cylinder next to it. That was one cylinder's not looking that happy. See, well, that's not good. With a porcelain difference.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything, but.
Huh.
Yeah. It ran. All right, Jeff Jones.
I don't know now. Lifting off this wheel.
Right. If that's broken, you can't pick it up from there.
It's crumpled under there.
Yeah, no, you can't pick it up from there.
We take the hood off. Is there anything under here we can grab?
Maybe. Shit. Well, that's kind of stuck in there pretty good.
Here we'll get the short right here.
You're clear.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, 5 or 6 more Allen will get the wishbone. We'll pull the part off your chassis. And then we have a 17mm nut on the subframe. And then it's a big Allen, like an 8 or a 10 that goes from the bottom. Yep. Right. Channel locks. Yeah, it's right.
After we get there, you can still call your 5.
Okay.
How's your foot?
Broken?
I probably would.
No, not like my toe or something.
Oh, okay.
I can drive, dude.
No, I'm just saying it's gonna swell up.
I'm good.
Okay, all right. This is the cool part, though. I like, right? This is full drift family right here, right? You got Essa, Sorensen, Olsen. Everybody's underneath the car. I need you guys to pause for 1 second when this beeps, and then I'll restart.
He's running to get one. He says he's got one. If you got 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to pause in a second.
We're still gonna have to check the toe. Sorry, guys. All fully written
I know,
down.
that's great, but you guys, those guys up there, he put himself in that position to get hit.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
My fault, and I always get out here. And then we go and talk about it, and then you tell me you're sorry, and it's like, it doesn't help me.
Right.
It doesn't help me.
No, I'm
It makes
definitely.
you look like
I'm definitely not. All right, so on this episode of Kevin's Corner, explain to us Outer Zone 3.
Which time?
This last time.
What just happened?
One more time.
Oh!
We're going again.
Okay, we're doing it again.
I stayed in a little late, and it is icy. If you like right on the end of it, it's just like.
And then it's just gone.
Yeah.
Damn. That was nice looking.
Thank you. I'm gonna repeat that out.
All right. Repeat it. Just win this time.
You did look good.
From what I gather, it's a valve cover leak.
Okay.
That's what I've been, the valve cover leaking.
So I'm
That's what I
gonna look
was
for
told.
cracks. Auto or chassis can touch the valve cover. I'll look for cracks. track.
And check the radium fitting.
Yep.
Make sure that that's.
Hold on.
Since the valve cover's heated up, you snug it up a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's probably pretty melted.
I need to know what tech
size
is.
that
What,
is?
no, what tech is gonna let you hit.
Sorry, guys. Damn. Of all things,
Honestly, that's not safe, and I would believe you would love it. Even if I got that.
Oh, if it was a full flat plane.
Yeah,
it
I
would
know
at
what
least
you get,
kick her
but
back. Yeah.
that's gonna leak on the manifold anyways. Look what you've done.
And we are back. We saw D-Mads here. Derek Madison. Derek Madison, Fuel Lab vehicle, the S chassis, Fuel Lab Fuel Systems, Team Nissan S14, as we are getting ready and continuing on. So Amanda getting into the marbles up there, do a little track cleanup there on outside zone 1. Derek Madison got a nicely prepped track, and we are clear to send in a moment. Hold, we got a little. Yep, just got some, just a little water. A little water on the track. NBD. Just blow it off, and we'll be good to go here with Madison.
That's how humid it is here in Florida, Jared. Water just spontaneously appears in places and pools.
All right, so Derek Madison on the line. So again, just a little bit of moisture on track right before inside clip 1. And Madison on the line. All right, we are clear to send. Derek Madison, ready to go for it. All right, we're back to qualifying here, kids. The FTP Euro knockout qualifying. Yeah, Derek Madison puts it exactly where he needs to be. Comes down inside clip 1, very tucked inside clip 1. Goes midline, that's gonna set him up nicely for inside clip 2. Into that second outside zone. D-Mad, woo, going mad. Yeah, what a great way to get back into this FCP Euro knockout qualifying. So again, we saw an 88 of Rich Whiteman. That might be up there, Ryan. What do you think?
That was a pretty accurate run, Jared. He did a good job of putting the car where it needed to be. Now let's see how he executed the other variables here. So the initiation, kind of a stepped initiation there. Could have been snappier, could have been more precise. You can see his angle early on in outside zone 1 wasn't great, but definitely did a great job in the second half. Accurate on inside clip 1. Pretty good transition over the bump. Could have been more explosive there on the transition, but got to the right amount of angle. And great job for outside zone 2 on the line as well.
So I had some corrections here and there. I love seeing those different angles. I'm looking at it with the naked eye, switching back and forth to the different angles on the knee jerk run call. So it's good to take all those different perspectives and lay it all out as we get our other female competitor out here, Kelsey Rowlings. Top one, Stabile 303. As D-Mads with an 82. An 82, he's up in the mix, but does not take that #1 spot. Currently sixth. Believe with that, we are officially halfway through qualifying of the first run of our competitors. And Kelsey, this is the Ford power plant under the hood or poking out of her S chassis. Kelsey pulls it up to the start line. A lot of seat time for Kelsey. Saw her again last weekend at Hyperfest. Driving her SR car, not her V8 car. But the seat time, S chassis as well, as Kelsey pulls away from the start, initiates, gets up into the bank. Nice up stick and really high. Looks like, yeah, she touched the wall. The back bumper coming off. Nails that inside clip 1. Hop, skip, and a jump takes out inside clip 2. Not with great angle there, unfortunately. She seems like she's all hopped up. I think she was like a bull in the stable, ready to just get after it and just let her loose.
There was a little something in initiation, or just before the initiation, Jared. I'm not sure if she missed a shift or there was a hesitation on her acceleration up to the start line, up to the initiation point. So let's watch as she drives up here. Hear that right there?
Yeah.
Sounded like her main, but she's on throttle. She's high on outside zone 1. Angle could have been a little better, but she definitely was up there, dragging bumper all the way along. Then she hits inside clip 1. You can see her angle suffers in inside clip 2, and so does her line through there. So that missed shift or whatever that was driving up to initiation may have thrown her off for the rest of the run, but it definitely got her on a high line in outside zone 1. It just caused some errors and some issues throughout the run after that.
Judges scrutinizing the run, making sure that she did maintain the angle. Seen a couple incompletes, and that was caused by straightening and obviously Amanda going to the wall. All right,
so let's watch it one more time. All right, running up to initiation. Again, that was that little hesitation we saw, and then she got on throttle. She's on throttle definitely through outside zone 1, but look at her angle, not ideal. You can see as she's dragging the whole back of the car there along the wall. Hits inside clip 1. On this transition right here is where things fall apart a little bit. So you can see her angle suffering quite a bit as she hits inside clip 2, and then she has pretty low angle early on in outside zone 2 and does not fill the zone very well. So she's now on a pretty inside line throughout the rest of outside zone 2.
We're waiting Kelsey Rowlings' score. At the start line, Rye O'Connor. The Ignited Soul Nissan 350Z. And Kelsey with a 60. That is a 6-0 for Kelsey Rowlings. And given that's the lowest, no, not the lowest score, because we got Ricky Hoffman with a 61. So, and a couple incompletes. And there is our FCP Euro knockout qualifying leaderboard. Whiteman up top, TLO, Bogovich, top 3 still. So nobody in the 90s just yet. Let's see what Rye O'Connor's got. Ooh. Initiate. That is low on initiation. I feel like he's a little scared, a little timid of the wall there, O'Connor. Dials it in on that inside clip, but lacking the angle there.
Yeah.
Now coming at second outside zone. See the hesitancy and the shimming of the wheels. So Rye crosses the finish line. Great looking livery for him, new looks. But unfortunately, not the strongest initiation, and the remaining portions of the track definitely suffered.
Yeah, we like to see the initiation where the back is the part of the car that steps out as opposed to the front driving down and then the rear stepping out, you know? And that's sort of what this initiation looked like. It looked like as he drove down here, you could see that the car wasn't really getting to angle as he wanted to. Not ideal from our perspective. You can see here pretty low angle by inside clip number 1. And we're going to get a second look at this run right after this one. But it's going to be on that initiation and the angle by inside clip 1. So let's watch that initiation one more time. We're going to be looking for where the initiation was performed. Looks like it was at slight angle as he went by the 1 cone, which is the 3rd cone there. Typically we do 3, 2, 1. And then the beginning of the zone, so that's why there are 4 markers over there. And as he comes by inside clip 1, that's where the angle suffered pretty significantly.
Rye O'Connor. 1 Nissan 350Z pull-offs and a Nissan 370Z pulls on. Hooman Rahimi. The I'm Only Hooman Nissan 370Z. And Rye O'Connor with a 47 for Mr. O'Connor. And Hooman Rahimi on the start. Turbocharged LS. Hooman progressively just, you know, refining his car, finding his driving skill. So expecting a big initiation here from Hooman. About halfway down the track as Rahimi into that first inside clip. Handles the spine not too bad, but goes off that inside clip 2 and way off of outside zone 2. So unfortunately, had the angle that Rye O'Connor was lacking, but line-wise, fairly similar.
He deep-beat. Sorry about that. He deep-beat it.
Yeah.
I heard his wheel hit, as soon as he came down off the bank, you could hear his wheel hit the pavement.
Yep.
And you could see that his left rear is deep-beated. And that is surely why his line suffers outside zone 2. But let's look at his initiation. Pretty great snap there at initiation. That was pretty impressive, but unfortunately his line was not ideal. And watch his car here. Oh, you can hear it, the little metal on pavement noise. So definitely driving with a debeated left rear tire at this point. And you can see that it's hurting his ability to put the power down and actually get the car where he needs it to be.
Let's see what Hooman Rahimi receives. Brand new livery here, great looking. We make clothes, donut. I like that. As Adam Kanapik, Donut Media, Optima Battery, Nissan S14. Kanapik coming to us from Southern California. Shout out to the Donut Media boys. Got Pumphrey and Jesse, the gang over there. See what Kanapik can do as Hooman Rahimi with a 73. So had the angle, as you can see, 27 out of 30. Style, obviously lacking. That's
well,
your category there, Ryan.
I gave him a big score on his initiation because it was really solid, but
right.
Unfortunately the rest of the run fell apart when his tire debeated coming off the bank, and everything else kind of wasn't what I was looking for, unfortunately. So highest initiation score, I gave him a 9 out of 10 because it was really a nice initiation.
All right. All right, here we go with Adam Kanapik again, brand new livery. Shout out again to the Donut Media fellas. Adam Kanapik, see what you got here, coming in. First outside zone, riding high. You can see him working the wheel. Good angle from Kanapik. See how he manages the middle portion of this track. See if it's double stuff for you or single stuff. A lot of left foot brake there going to that second inside clip. Trying to massage it in. Second outside zone. So could nail those outside zones, struggling with the inside clips. Like I said, Oreo cookie metaphor. Could have just been the cookies, no frosting. No, you know, no double stuff.
I like a double stuff personally.
Do you?
Yeah, pretty big fan. Looking at his initiation, pretty solid there. You can see the car snapping the angle nicely. And it was fairly accurate. He had a little bobble coming through, actually a few bobbles there in outside zone 1. Right here, you're going to see him go by inside clip 1 and kind of pour on the angle and lift off throttle, which is not ideal. And then, like you said, some left foot braking there by inside clip 2. On throttle through outside zone 2. Line was okay. You can see he was off near the end. So some issues with placement, not really accurate, as accurate as we'd want to see, and a couple of other little errors in there as well.
Kanapik awaits his score. Next up, Mr. Licklider. As the NST, this guy doesn't stop, never stops tuning. Never
Tunes
stops.
his car every day, all day.
All the time. 70, he's tuning it right now. Just kidding. 75, a 75 for Mr. Kanapik. 75. See what Licklider's got. And it looks like Blake Olsen is our top European qualifier. So if it ended, yeah, so far, but our FCP Euro knockout qualifying, remember FCP Euro contingency, $1,000 purse for first, second, and third highest finishing Europeans, and 10 grand cash overall. Well, unfortunately, Licklider, not a European car, but he's gonna try to go for it. The NST vehicle coming down into that first inside clip, very tight there. So contrary to what we just saw with Knappich, just what I was gonna say, nailing those inside clips, well, nailed it literally, not precisely, as Licklider brings it across the finish line. Not too shabby on that second outside zone, but with that big, you know, you never have a second chance to make that first impression.
It's true.
Or that first initiation.
Let's watch the replay, Jared. See what happened out here with Adam Licklider. He wasn't as accurate going through the infield, hitting those clips. The flick right here, pretty solid initiation. Not to a high degree of angle initially, and then you can see him pouring a little bit more on. Coming by inside clip 1, a little bit off there, and then inside clip 2, coming in a little too tight, hitting it with the front right, which is a pretty significant hit. You know, we're generally looking at maybe them hitting with the, you know, the left headlight or something like that, but hitting it that much will be a deduction on line for sure.
Licklider waiting for his score. Next up, another California kid. Andy Haitley, he's been working on his car for a while, kind of suffered some setbacks last year, and then great to see him bringing out this car, this ride. Yeah. And nicknamed this car the Habanero, spicy one, the ghost pepper, the Habanero. Licklider with a 63, 63 for Alex Licklider. But being a European vehicle, Haitley, a contender for that contingency. And Haitley, let's see if he is lovely. Not Haitley. It's all fair and lovely. Haitley. Andy Haitley comes in. Nice job there. A little left foot brake. We've seen that. A lot of drivers use that technique. Big angle there. That's going to set him up for success. Woo! Massive angle. Now over the ridge. Into what do we got here? Andy Haitley. Yo, look at this guy. Gets back in a comfortable spot as Haitley stands and delivers.
That was a high energy run,
Yo.
Jared. That was fun to watch.
That was a spicy meatball there,
Yeah.
aka the Habanero.
Yeah, I think he, like you said,
Yo.
the Habanero has a shot at the top Euro qualifier. He might have a shot at a really high qualifying score here overall. Looking at the initiation, pretty good. You can see the left foot brake initially kind of held him back, and then as soon as he let off, he started blasting through this track, and he was very accurate. Look at the angle that he's driving with all around these inside clips and around outside zone number 2. So I'd say really outside zone 1, the beginning of outside zone 1 is really where he made his biggest error, and then running through the rest of the course, really cleaned it up, and it looked really solid.
Well done there. Is he going to take that #1 spot? Again, points at stake. We'll see. Well done there.
You know, he always seemed to be a little out of his element in the E30 that he had before. There were always issues with the car, and then the driving he was saying was hard to drive. And
Boom,
look at him now.
92, our first driver in the 90s. Look at that guy. Look at that caveman right there. Andy Haitley. Yep, the curse is even pointing at him. Love it. Andy Haitley with a 92. That's going to be hard to beat, man. That's going to be really hard to beat. That was just all things coming together for him. And
that was a real positive move going to that E46.
I think so as well. So, well done. Habanero, spicy one. Brian Wadman. Wadman, the Elite Roofing Nissan S14, obviously with the liquid moly on it. Wadman goes into a considerably darker track, but the lights are on. Goes low to high on the bank. Tight to the first inside clip, going to the second. You can see, you can hear a little throttle lift as Wadman puts it right in the crease, finishes strong. Decent run there from Wadman.
There was something odd on the run up to initiation, and I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to watch it again here and see if we can catch it. As he went to initiate the car, I think he slowed down considerably while he was initiating. So watch as he accelerates up. Didn't catch it there. Live, it did look odd, but now on the replay, didn't quite catch it, I guess, from the angle of the camera, perhaps. As he comes through the course, you can see him missing inside flip two a little bit. We're going to get a second look at this. You can see there as he came around the end of outside zone 2, he did have a lift off throttle. Looked like he was about to go up on the bank there, so he lifted off. Now, I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was a big throttle lift and a handbrake at initiation that made it look like there was a hesitation there. But overall, made it through the course. Minimal corrections, a little bit there on the wheel, but not overall that much. And then right here, just listen to the engine. You hear him lift as his tire went off the track, and he was trying to stay on course. So that'll be a bit of a deduction there on the style side of things, on technique.
Hard act to follow after that Haley run there. So Wadman not exactly ticking the boxes in the judge's eyes. Arrieta, the Insane Ways SC300. And there's a 76 for Wadman. Mr. Brian Wadman, the Wadman Drift S chassis, and Arrieta with the lone SC in competition, both pro and pro spec.
Robbie Nishida's watching right now and drooling when he watches that
he
car
loves
going on
SCs,
track.
huh?
He does love SCs.
They're
great chassis.
There's some big boys, some big boys there, those SCs. But lighten them up, great looking car. Carlos Arrieta airing it out. NST comes into the bank, comes ripping. Doesn't get all the way up. Oh, and comes out. I thought he was coming in too hot. Oh boy, yikes.
Missed the cone. Good
Yep,
job.
so Arrieta, that will be unfortunately an incomplete. And we'll be going to the not so great 8. You can see the frustration there in the cockpit. Sideways NST SC. Ryan, let's take a look at the sector map, and overall, just to remind you of where points are allocated, what the judges are looking for. 2 outside zones. It begins with outside zone, 2 inside clips in the middle, and 1 outside zone. Anything further you want to add?
Yeah, you can see there the start line's the top left corner. They drive down along those arrows and then initiate by the latest at the 1 cone. They need to be high right away on outside zone number 1, and they need to fill it from beginning to end. It is highly, what's the word I'm looking for, Jared? They should exit outside zone 2 at the end. Highly recommended, that's what I'm trying to say. If you stay on too long, you're going to miss inside clip 1, and it's going to put you on a very poor line through the infield. So definitely need to leave where the zone ends to be able to fulfill the mid of the course, that midfield area. And then getting to outside zone 2, really important as well, because you can easily get up on that bank and go off course, which will throw the balance of the car off. And then the keys to success here, fast, snappy initiation, bumper on the wall and outside zone 1. We were telling him the briefing, just kiss the wall all the way around, very light and gentle, and then a high degree of angle while maintaining momentum at the inside clips. You don't want to over-rotate the car there and slow down, but that transition is key in the center of the track as well.
I feel like you're giving him like dating tips, just
gentle. You gotta be gentle.
Just gentle. Just
yeah.
kiss,
We don't want him to use the outside wall as a barrier to keep the car in there.
Exactly. All right, Bice track. Here we go. That's the Bice track. JS alternators S chassis with 1 headlight on, like Rob Thomas. And now coming around through the jump and past that second inside clip. I like that second outside zone execution. I just said highly recommended.
Yeah. Great angle through outside zone 2.
4 to 5 moms.
4 to 5 moms recommend that you leave outside zone 1 when it ends. Dentists and doctors too.
Yeah, and Jif peanut butter.
And
experts.
we just ignore the one that doesn't recommend it. So watch his initiation here. He did not really get the car to angle very well. He kind of drove into it. sort of drove down, and then you can see his line suffered. Had some bobbles there. The car didn't look settled in a lot of areas on the track. There were some issues with keeping the car at angle. You can see a lot of correction right there as well.
Yeah, got speed wobbles.
But right here, outside zone 2 is where he truly shines. Look at the angle in the car and how the car is settled through outside zone 2. So looking at the zones, of course, angle is he's gonna have some deductions through the beginning and middle of the track. But the last outside zone looked really solid.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, the sentence before kind of words were jumbled around a little bit. So maybe shake it together, see what comes out, but we'll see if that lands him at least, you know, in the not so great 8s. But that's the beauty of it. If you do get a score, you're going to compete in tomorrow's and going into Sunday's action as well. 65, so Bystrack with a 65. Just a few more drivers left. About 7 estimated drivers. Everybody shows up. And now we are looking at Richard Advani.
This is the lone Corvette in Prospec.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see again. Just a prepared vehicle here, or a prepared Corvette in Prospec. Great looking car. As Advani, middle of the bank at Link ECU. See the big graphic on the side. Oh, big straightening there on over the hip, but might have sounded like almost something went south, huh? Maybe mischief rattled his cage a little bit.
Jared, he didn't look very confident through this run. The car was moving around a lot. I don't know if it was a grip thing where the car's too gripped up, and as soon as he slightly lifts off throttle, it tries to straighten, and then he's back on throttle to try to get it at an angle again. But he was definitely fighting the car through the run, and you could tell in the attitude of the car. So watch his initiation here. You can see it. He holds it at a low degree of angle and tries to pour some more angle on it. Look, you can almost time the movements of the car with the throttle. You can hear as the throttle goes, the car kind of moves out a little bit more. He's not using his throttle consistently either, and it's not doing him any favors here. As you can see the car moving around quite a bit throughout the entire run.
And let's see. Again, a newcomer, Advani. Coming us from, I'm seeing Mumbai, India. I've not met Advani yet, so I literally just flew in and walked right in the announcer's booth. Have a quick little bite. So I'm eager to meet a lot of these new Prospec drivers that are joining us here. Some new builds when we get to the bottom here. Some newcomers into Prospec, some rookies. Yeah, great to see the diversity. So Advani with a 69, nice, gets the 17 position. Let's take a look at the leaderboard as Advani gets his score. Haley with a 92, Whiteman 88, Lemaire, TLO is 87, Bogovich 85, Matta 84, Olsen, Madison, Brutskiy, Martinez. So who's gonna go again? Back at it like a track addict.
We have 6 drivers to go, I believe, Jared.
Yep, so again, incompletes, all of them will go for sure, that is for certain. And right now, Jack Davis from Bixby, Oklahoma, according to the stats. Another BMW. There's a lot of them.
Ooh, very slow run up to initiation.
Little crawl. You gotta crawl before you can walk, but guess what? You gotta run before you can run. Talking about FD here, baby. You gotta go for it. Initiates, that's a correction. That, again, despite all his rage, he still just rattled his cage. And into that second outside zone. And didn't have any practice.
You have to wonder if he had some mechanical issues during that run.
Great looking car. You know, welcome to FD Prospec. But crawling off. So are we deeming that an incomplete, boys?
Yes, that's an incomplete.
So unfortunately, that is an incomplete for Jack Davis.
Yeah, we don't think he did any practice runs, so that may have actually been his first run on this track today.
That's going to be a setback.
That is definitely going to hold him back a little bit.
That's unfortunate. Don't know the situation, but unfortunately, that will set him back. But does have another shot at it. Get a score on the board. We'll see him in competition. allegedly, unofficially. Like this car. This car looks popping, man. Look at this thing. Comes ready for battle. This was a, yeah.
It has a sort of Forrest Wang look to the livery.
What, instead of like a forest wang, it's like a small, like garden forest, or it's garden wang. Garden wang.
Not a full forest.
Not a full forest, just garden wang. I'm just, again, like the style, man. Great looking car. Zach Farrar, Shinchoku Factory 83 S13.4 from Denver, Colorado. Man, if this is a car show, that'd be up there. But it's not a car show. You got to show off. And he does just that. Nice job so far by Zach. Could be a little higher, but keeps it clean, slams down. See how he handles the jump. Over the hip and spins it out. And man, that was solid up until it wasn't. So, but again, like the car, you know, you got to think nerves comes into play in this.
Definitely.
And yeah, that will be an incomplete.
Correct.
Yeah, that will be an incomplete. Unfortunately, just, you know, it comes down to, is that a chaseable run? And that definitely isn't. Don't go against the factory. Shout out to Factory 83, Ian. Does a lot of liveries for quite a few FD cars, Prospec. So the cut line there, bottom 8. M-Spec. I saw Stuckey cheering him on earlier. We got Casey Cole, M-Spec, S14.9. So you can see again right there, Sorensen, Hansen. Yeah, so just get a score, you'll be in the mix. I mean, even Ryan O'Connor with a very, you know, we've seen better. I don't know if I mean, that might be one of the lowest scores we've seen, but it's going to get him into the show. So tighten it up, build it together, get a score. Next up, Casey Cole. Can hear fans screaming for him in the building. It's Casey. Sorry, Zach was from Everett, Washington. Casey Cole is from Denver, Colorado. I apologize there, Zach. But Casey Cole comes down. Initiates, but comes out of drift, works his way back up, straightens out, keep it off the wall. And I think that's going to be another incomplete.
Correct, Jared.
And just purely due to the fact that it's unchaseable. Imagine you got this car. You know, here's your two-time defending champion Dmitriy Brutskiy. He's going in, he's chasing him down. He's right there. Whoa, 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 and that's happening in front of you.
Yep.
Nope. That's unsafe, and just it doesn't make for competition.
No, it does not. No, you can't have that because you want to make sure that the competition level is really high, and you have to give the chase driver the opportunity to really follow closely and have confidence in what that lead driver is going to do. And when something like that happens in front of you, you have to make a big adjustment, especially if you're close, as we are expecting the chase car to be.
All right, we move on to our final 3 competitors. We got Trenton Bice, the Y-Plate Imports GZX90 coming to us from Portland, Oregon. And again, another rookie here in the Link ECU Prospec Championship. Crawling into initiation, slow roll, then turns it up. Big angle, look at that. You can see, I mean, you can see the full undercarriage, man, of that thing. Big JZX90 comes across into that second front clip. Yep, Trenton Bice, middle line there on that second outside zone. And this is, I think, a case of getting a score on the board. Halfway, you know, to the danger zone on outside zone 1, hits inside clip 1, kind of meanders his way over to the second inside clip, and then middle of the line and outside zone 2. Did I kind of assess that correctly?
I think you did a pretty good job, Jared.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you go ahead and head out of here. I got this.
You can do. You got this.
No, people call me the fourth judge. Have you ever heard that being said?
I have heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call you the handsome judge.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm blushing. Stop. That is a scoreable run.
That is a
scoreable run.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's take a look at this again. Take a look at Trenton's run.
Love me a JZX. Look at that 90 coming up to initiation. He was definitely slow rolling up to initiation. Got a mid to late initiation. It wasn't ideal, but high angle through outside zone 1. Not a great line though. Inside clip 1, you can see a bit of a bobble there. Wasn't as accurate as we'd like him to be. And then through outside zone 2, definitely not putting the car where it should be. He's way off of outside zone number 2. So he will get a score, but he's going to get some heavy deductions on, I would say, all of the criteria, Jared.
And welcome to the show. It's a completely different animal being scrutinized under multiple different angles by judges that have been watching this for quite some time, and just the criteria of driving we've seen. I mean, again, Andy Haley with the habanero, just burning your retinas with how spicy that thing was. So a 61. Oh, look at that! Look at those shades.
Wow!
Look at that. Trenton going for it. 61.
He means business.
Yeah.
In those
That guy.
losses.
That guy
Yeah,
right there.
that guy.
He asked you for your ID. He wants to see your license and registration. That guy. That guy.
Do you
That
think
guy
they-
doesn't mess around.
Do you think they're the ones that tint automatically in the sunlight?
I think so.
Maybe.
They have the auto tune. I'll talk about music here. Oh yeah.
So this is Eric Medsi from Brazil. I've judged him many times down there in Super Drift Brazil.
I have too. I'm like, really with that outfit? Really? I'm kidding. All right, Metzi. So no,
I get what you're
all
saying.
joking
It's
aside,
funny.
you've been down in Brazil and is driving.
Yes.
All right, let's see what Metzi's got. Anything Metzi wants, Metzi gets. Coming down into that first outside zone, kind of shimming his way into there. Into that first inside clip. Could have deeper angle. Coming to second clip, takes it out. You can see the hesitation there. Like two people almost running into each other. Yeah, those rims are glowing. You don't need any Type S light for those things. Those things shine bright.
You sure can't see what's going on with those wheels.
No.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's great. Yeah, lost. Looks like maybe lost a hood pin or something, but taking out that second inside clip.
He had some big issues with his car originally, and they couldn't get it started. They switched their ECU, and now it's running perfectly, as you can see. Good throttle up to initiation. Initiation could be snappier, but he did get the angle. You can see he's got some bobbles there through outside zone 1 on a lower line than we'd like to see. And then as he comes to inside clip 1, low angle there as well. And coming to inside clip 2, same idea. Angle's not really what we'd like to see through these areas. Outside zone number 2, his line is not ideal. But he got a run in, and he'll get a score for that. I think this is a result of a lack of practice with the car due to it not wanting to start.
Well, what I'm thinking is, his sponsor is Mild to Wild, so I'm thinking that he's going to go a little mild today.
He's going to work it up,
and he's going to go wild tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely see that happening.
So when he hit that second inside clip, that was like when you're at the airport and you're kind of almost about to walk into each other. You kind of go left, right, and you're like, that's what it looked like when he was going toward that second clip.
Little dance.
Yeah, a little shimmy. 54 for Eric Medsi.
Jared, is this our last run of qualifying?
This is our last run of FCP Euro knockout qualifying. And if this should be a good one. Robert Thorne.
Throne,
thank you. Sorry, these guys are throwing me off over here. They say, get ready.
They're throwing you off?
They're throwing me off. Well, Robert Throne's going to maybe put a thorn in your side. That's what I was going for here. Robert Throne. AS Motorsports. This gentleman has a lot of driving background. Woo, big angle there, coming down. This gentleman has raced multiple cars, and I know he's Tom O'Gorman. He's watching right now, cheering on his boy. Man, I'll tell you what. He might be sitting on the throne right there. Yeah, I mean, this supercharged LS3, he raced in World Challenge except for McLaren and GT3 cars. So he says, my buddy Tom O'Gorman, he says, one of the best and most versatile drivers he knows. So I think that's a testimony. I don't know if you know the ASM team, but they do a lot of great stuff in sports cars.
It seems like the throttle was stuck down on this one. Yeah. So you got the hard angle nicely. Throttle all the way through. Could have been higher in outside zone number 1 there, but as he comes down to inside clip 1, pretty good job there. Watching the transition, the car settles pretty well over the jump. A little off of inside clip 2, but throttle everywhere in this car. He is not. He's not taking it easy, let's say, on his first qualifying run. So good job there from him. He'll get a score on the board.
2 things. Robert, he was a thorn in your side. Robert Throne might be on the throne. And PBR, Pro Bull Riding, he needs to enter that because he got bucked on that jump mid-track. Regardless, welcome to Formula Drift Prospec Championship, Robert Throne in the ASM Motorsports Cat's Coin BMW M3.
Nobody can keep up to you right now, Jared.
What?
All of your little sayings.
My puns.
Your little puns.
84 for the at Throne Racing. Robert Throne, so does not get the #1 spot. The gentleman that has the crown and the throne is that of Andy Haley. So we have our not so great 8. We have 32 drivers. Get a score for those that have incomplete drivers. Well, again, unofficially, we got quite a few incompletes. I know that we got Corey Talaska at an incomplete. So there's 1, Rudy Hansen. There's 2. We had Amanda Sorensen with 3. Then we had 4, 5, 6. I know we had Zach Davis, Zach Farrar, and Casey Cole. So those are 6 incompletes. So, and we will see. And the driver with 47. And I believe that was Rye O'Connor and Carlos Arrieta. That's what it was. So there it is. So there were 7 incompletes, and unfortunately the Rye O'Connor 47 score he drops down. So that's where we're looking at. O'Connor, Talaska, Hansen, Sorensen, Arrieta, Davis, Farrar, and Cole. Now we stack them, re-rack them. You can't get any better than 25th with these final 8 drivers. Some people use the acronym LCQ. We call it knockout qualifying. So these 8 drivers are fighting just now for their spots. But if they don't get a score, O'Connor's already in. But if these drivers do not get a score, somebody will have a bye run tomorrow. So you want to see a score here at FCP Euro knockout qualifying. Now you got the left, you got that kind of that left jab, what you saw earlier, 1 and done for those other drivers, and now boom, knockout. Or are they going to be in? We'll find out in our knockout qualifying. FCP Euro official sponsor, the Link ECU Prospec Championship. Hey, get your car ready for summer with FCP Euro's summer kickoff sale. It's happening this weekend only. Head over to fcpeuro.com to shop parts for your Euro vehicle. Save up to 20% on select genuine OE, OEM, and aftermarket parts. Don't wait. FCP Euro's summer kickoff sale ends this Sunday. And the
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
We all know Royal Purple for their exceptional motor oil. They keep my 1,000 horsepower drift car going year-round. And they have an exceptional array of products that help keep your engine's fuel system running clean, powerful, and cool. Royal Purple Max Atomizer cleans fuel injectors to restore maximum flow and get back that fuel economy we all want. Max Clean is a state-of-the-art performance fuel system cleaner that deeply penetrates deposits in your fuel system. Max Clean cleans more parts in your engine and cleans them better. Royal Purple Max Boost is a high-performance octane booster and fuel treatment that helps increase the octane of your fuel. For real. Max Boost is an energy drink for your engine. Purple Ice reduces engine coolant temperatures. It helps prevent overheating and extends the life of your water pump. 4-Ways Purple can help your engine. Royal Purple Performance Products. Find them at an auto parts dealer near you.
Welcome back to Orlando Speed World for round 3 of the Type S Scorch, presented by AutoZone Pro Championship, but this is round 1 of the Link ECU Prospec Championship and the FCP Euro knockout qualifying. These are the not so great 8, the bottom 8 fighting for a spot. And this is Corey Talaska. Again, 7 of the 8 drivers having incomplete runs. The only one, Ryle Connor, will be in top 32 because does have a score, but one of the lowest scores, so goes into this knockout battles. Lights are flickering here on Talaska's car. I wonder if he's okay. He's got power. Okay, there we go. Power of the babe. Here we go. Talaska initiates into the bank. Just need a score. Get to the show, and Talaska risking it for the biscuit. Little correction there. Big angle now. Talaska handles that jump, takes out inside clip 2, but a lot better, but again, can't do any better than 25th spot. Sounded like a little Jonathan Hurst-esque right there. Papa Diddy Pop. Talaska, put that down in your first run, that'd have been pretty high scoring.
Yeah, exactly, and that's sometimes the mental game that comes into play here. So at initiation, you can see a bobble there. Didn't quite get the car to angle as we'd like to see. He definitely had an error in that area. Did okay on outside zone 1. Could have been deeper in it, but at least the car was a little more settled through there. Hits inside clip 2, coming through outside zone number 2. Getting that car, the right rear wheel close to the line, and then finally near the, the latter maybe quarter of the zone, got the tire right on the line. So definitely some deductions there, but like you said, he's going to put a score down, and it should secure him a spot in tomorrow's competition.
Great looking car, good looking E36. Rudy Hansen, good looking car as well. As the Team Hansen anti-gravity, always easy for me to say, anti-gravity batteries. S13, and Talaska with a 71. So that is a 71 for Talaska. With a 71, puts him in that 25th position. We'll see if Rudy can better 71 and jump up above him. Other question is Amanda Sorensen going to get her car together? She did ride off. We saw her wheel go back on. We'll see if she's 100% because she caught the brunt. She was the first victim of the OSW wall in competition here this weekend.
Yeah, it looked like it may have been repairable. The fact that she drove it off gives me good hope for that.
Yeah.
It looked like the wheel broke, but it's better for the wheel to break and take that impact and kind of save the rest of the suspension pieces and all of that. And that may have saved her.
Rudy Hansen. Sending car thumbs up. Matt Sopa on Europa, keeping it clean. Here comes Hansen. Inbox. There we go. Rudy comes out swinging. Nice job. Oh, off of that first inside clip. And he's going to kind of temper the flame on that second, but gets a lot closer on the second. Now, set it and forget it, that second outside zone. Does exceed that line, gets up onto the bank a little bit. That'll be deduction, but still a score. That's not safe, but still a score.
Yeah, you started off strong, Jared, at that initiation. It looked pretty snappy, and it looked pretty accurate as well. You know, we didn't see a lot of movement, but the replay here will tell us a little bit more. So look at how quickly he gets the car to angle. A little bit of a deduction angle after that, but on throttle, his line is not ideal. He's below that white line, so he's going to get some deductions there on line for sure. Off of inside clip one a little bit. Not really too much movement there after the jump. The car seemed pretty settled. He was a little closer on inside clip two. And like you said, he's in the groove there. The tire's just slightly over the line, so shouldn't get hit too bad in that area, but you know, he did make some mistakes earlier on that'll affect his score.
Rudy Hansen waiting for the score. 6 more drivers left, 6 more runs. And look at that, Amanda Sorensen's back. Aim high, Air Force high, that's right. The Air Force BMW of Amanda Sorensen is back in a 74, so he does take the position away from Talaska. And Rudy Hansen currently sits in 25th, Talaska 26th. Shaking things up. See if Amanda could keep it off the wall. Again, the track conditions, just keep it safe, like I know she can. And Amanda warming up her GT Radials. GT Radial, the official tire of the Prospec Championship. And Amanda is, you can see, missing that that front left fender, but good seeing the car running. Sorensen for it. All right, she comes back, man. No, zero chill Sorensen. Into that first inside clip. Handling it, going to the second inside clip. And now all the way through. And that's what we needed. Well done, Amanda Sorensen. And again, that was, you know, no holds barred there at all.
Yeah, you were very accurate with that, Jared. She did not seem like she was phased at all by the crash that happened on the previous run. She just threw it out there on throttle, very aggressive. The speed she was carrying through outside zone 1 was impressive. So definitely not holding back at all. No fear even after a wall hit. So let's watch the initiation here. Gets the car to angle nicely and then broad total. Look at the cameraman struggling to keep up as she comes around outside zone 1. Her line could have been better through there, but she was definitely on throttle. Transition, a little bit of a hesitation there coming to inside clip number 2. And then outside zone 2 on that line with the right rear tire on throttle, looking really solid through to the finish line.
And Amanda waits for her score. Does she better a 74 and get in the 25th position? We see every driver kind of level up. As next up, Rye O'Connor. And Rye is guaranteed, and 78. So yeah, 71 to 74 to now a 78 from Amanda Sorensen. Rye O'Connor is in the show. He does have a score of 47, but of course he would like to better that. Rye is opening up the throttle and burning up the tires. And Rye pulls up to the line for a second run of the FCP Euro Knockout Qualifying Run. And track is clear, track is hot. Rye O'Connor. Rye initiates. Gets really close to that wall, but that causes him to drop down lower mid-bank. Comes into that first inside clip. Over the jump into the second inside clip. Little more precise than he was on his first run. Like I said, those nerves, you know, we have seen him in Prospec competition before, but just coming back out for the first round, I believe that really contributed to, like I said, overall nerves. Your thoughts, Lantain?
Wait for the replay to come up. He wasn't quite as high as we'd like to see in the majority of outside zone 1, but let's look at the initiation to begin with. Got the car angle pretty nicely, a little bobble there afterwards, but you can see as soon as he gets up close to the wall, the car drops down. He has a big lift there at the end of outside zone 2. And then the car is pretty settled in the infield here. Not too many corrections on the steering wheel, but you can see that he's a little off of the first zone, first clip, hits the second clip with the corner of the bumper there, but a good line through outside zone number 2. So again, score on the board, a couple of errors to contend with though.
All right, let's see what the score is for O'Connor. And see where O'Connor lands. That's a 68. 68. So out of our 4 drivers currently at the bottom of that. We'll see where he ends up. But right now, the highest qualifying driver of the 4 that have gone so far, Amanda Sorensen with that 78. And now Carlos Arrieta. Arrieta NST SC 300. Pulls up to the line. And here's a real quick look at your leaderboard. There we have it. So the 4 drivers that have competed. And now Arrieta get a score on the board. He came out firing on his first run, overshot it, if you can recall. Keep it in between the lines there, Carlos. Middle of the road there. Takes out that second inside clip. Looks like Carlos will be getting a score. A little nerve-wracking there, just kind of right, that's like flirting with disaster, it seemed like, but puts it together. Carlos will be getting a score.
The one thing I saw was his initiation. It looked like he slowly rolled into it. He kind of drove down into initiation and then was at low angle, and then you could see him slowly pour angle on as he went through outside zone 1. So let's watch it here in the replay. So if you watch his initiation, he sort of drives down very low angle originally and then pours on some angle. So that's going to hurt him for sure, and he drops down really low on outside zone 1. You can see him actually below those white hash marks, the white painted lines around outside zone 1. So that's definitely going to hurt him on line. It's inside clip number 2, and then not really fully filling outside zone number 2. You can see that he was inside early on and then worked his way to the outside of that zone, but only near the very end of that zone. So his line is definitely going to suffer throughout the entirety of the course. And as we know, line is worth 40% of the score. So we might be expecting a lower score here in comparison.
Well, we really talked up this vehicle here. Great looking car. Let's see where Carlos lands as far as score. But right now we are looking at Jack Davis. No, sorry. Oh, thank you very much. All right, so that is Zach Farrar, Zach Farrar. No. All right, waiting for Carlos to score. And Jack Davis did call a competition timeout. And Carlos gets a 63. That's a 63 for Carlos Arrieta. All right, so Carlos Arrieta gets a 63. Jack Davis calls a competition timeout. And right now it is Zach Farrar. Oh, he's calling a competition timeout now. Oh boy. Because again, has an incomplete competition timeout. Once they get hands on the car, they can, so I'm hearing that he doesn't have power steering. So the NGK competition timeout's being utilized early on and putting a little lull in the action here. Jack Davis and Zach Farrar back to back. So our final driver will be Casey Colwell. Not just yet. We're obviously, if they can get their cars back together, Jack and Zach. And yeah, I don't even know what your title is, Pat, exactly. But Dad jokes, throwing some dad jokes up here. Jay-Z, we'll see if they can make it back out here. But here's our M-Spec pilot. That is Casey Cole. So speaking of competition timeouts, NGK competition timeout being utilized. NGK makes ignition coils. Why? Because we prefer running a partner that can keep pace. We know ignition, and since our spark plugs don't run alone, we put some of our own energy and expertise into making a better coil. NGK ignition coils are engineered to OE durability and performance, and because we race to win, we continue to improve the design, testing, and validation of our ignition coils to make installation easier and performance better. NGK spark plugs and coils, better together. Casey Cole pulling to the line. And here comes Casey Cole out of the gate. See what Casey's got. See it shook off those nerves. Throw some more angle at it towards the latter portion of that bank. Rips down into that first inside clip. Little pump of the brakes. Into the second inside clip, and now finishing it off. And Casey Cole's going to be in the show tomorrow. Exits out hot, and that M-Spec vehicle, and Casey Cole does have a score. So again, the question is, Jack and Zach, are they going to be back? See if they attack this track. Zach and Jack.
Getting a lot of stop-its from everybody. Looking at the initiation, he was nice and high in initiation, close to the wall, but then started to drop down. You can see a little kind of a bobble there, lack of angle, and his line is low as he comes down. He drops down below those white lines on outside zone number 1. Through the infield there, does a pretty good job, taps that inside clip number 2 marker, and then gets his tire on the line through outside zone number 2. So overall, a pretty solid run. Started off strong and then sort of made some mistakes along the way a little bit. You know, I was looking forward, as I saw that initiation, that he would carry that through the rest, but need to work on some of the precision there through the run.
Regardless, does get a score, so that's good. And we are awaiting the arrival of one of 2 of the drivers to see if they're ready, but as Zach was saying, no power steering. Didn't hear the diagnosis of what's going on with Jack's vehicle. But 2 more vehicles. Great, all right, we are hearing that Jack Davis is en route as we await the score here, still for Casey Cole. Jack Davis making his way to the burnout box. And did not get the final score for Casey Cole just yet. It is coming in, and it's a 67. It's a 67 for Casey Cole. So not at the bottom. Currently, it looks like Arrieta is currently at the bottom of the 6, but we still have Jack Davis and Zach Farrar ready to run. 2 more remaining drivers to forge our field of top 32 for round 1 of the Link Engine Management Prospec Championship. The lights are on. We are live from Orlando Speed World. We deem this Type S Scorch, presented by AutoZone. Scorch, it's hot, it's humid, and it's an action-packed Thursday going all the way till Saturday. So got Prospec and Pro going into the night, tonight, tomorrow, and into Saturday night. Tomorrow the paddock will be full of fans, drivers, Prospec, Pro drivers. Qualifying going down for Pro, 32-16 for Prospec. And this is Jack Davis. We understand his first qualifying run was his first run on this track. Did not practice. And Jack Davis pulls up to the line. And here we go, Jack. Leaves the start line. See if he can put it together, initiates, comes back, drops major down. Way low line, unfortunately for Davis. Carthy's very stiff. Watch, you can see how the attitude. Oh, and unfortunately, that will be an incomplete. So that's double zeros. And the attitude and the exhaust note of that car definitely sounds frustrating. I would be as well. And that means that, yeah, coming from Bixby, Oklahoma, Jack Davis with 2 incompletes will not be competing. So our #1 qualifier, Andy Haitley, will have a bye run going from 32 to 16. So we won't see Haitley tomorrow, but we'll see him on Saturday in the top 16 of Prospec. And here we go.
Jared, you can't expect to drive up to initiation this slowly and to make it around that zone high and with the right angle that you need. There's a reason why we have the acceleration lane kind of built up to the length that it is. It's to give you the amount of space to get the car initiated at speed. And you can see that his hesitancy to get the car full throttle up to initiation has bitten him here by giving him an incomplete. I don't think he had the momentum to fill outside zone 1 properly. You can see he was very low on his line. His angle was poor as well, and then it just put him on the wrong line going through the rest of the course. So, you know, there's a certain level of let's say, trying to keep the car in one piece because he hasn't done a lot of practice laps. That was probably his 2nd run today, or ever on this track. So try to be safe.
Here we go with our final driver, Zach Farrar. Hopefully he's got the power steering. Great looking car. Middle of the bank. But let's see if Zach keeps it between the lines. He lost it there earlier, but now it looks like Farrar will be getting a score as long as nothing catastrophic happens. And it does so. Farrar does get into the show. Again, great looking car. So again, we have a top 31 unofficially, as Jack Davis is our only driver that unfortunately does not advance on into tomorrow's top 32. And it's been an exciting way to kick off our Link Engine Management Prospec Championship. Let's look at it again here. Farrar.
So his initiation, looking at the flick that he did, it was pretty solid, but it got him going on a low line already, you know, right off the bat. So you can see he's way below those white painted lines on outside zone #1, which is not ideal. Inside clip 1 to 2, pretty decent job through there. A little bit of movement in the angle of the car, and then he wasn't wide on the beginning of outside zone 2, but worked it wide pretty much by the finish line, I'd say. So on line, he's definitely going to receive some deductions there. And outside zone 1 is worth 14 points.
Yeah,
and he was pretty low through there, so I can see some big deductions coming.
Regardless, you just needed to get a score on the board. And Farrar waiting for that score to be tabulated. Remember, tune in tomorrow throughout the day, into the night, as well as Saturday. And, well, it should be a 67. Should be, well, that was a 67 for Cole. But waiting for the score for Zach Farrar. So making that official with Casey Cole. I did have a 67. So impressive. All right, so Zach Farrar got a 69. Nice, well done there. And there we have, again, Arietta. So, all right, so Andy Haitley, that's how our bottom 8. So, yeah, Amanda Sorensen with a lot of redemption there, coming back after getting a battle with the wall, and the wall always wins. Don't go against the wall, as Sorensen comes back with a 78, gets that top spot of the not-so-great 8. But notably, our #1 qualifier, Andy Haitley, the habanero, that's what it just says on here, the habanero. No sponsor, just the habanero. And I know, you know, his dog Gonzo, and just Andy's an absolute spirit animal and harness the spirit of Orlando Speed World. And here's a look at the bracket as Andy Haley gets an automatic bye into the top 16, which that will go down. Again, this is unofficial, of course, but again, we'll go online. We're gonna have our drivers meeting later with our Prospec drivers, but an action-packed weekend here at Formula Drift Pro and Prospec Championship. Join us tomorrow at 12:45. Join us again tomorrow, 12:45. Check the Formula Drift websites for Prospec and Pro schedule. Thank you so much for joining us out here on behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff and Ryan Lontaine. A good way to kick off the FCP Euro knockout qualifying, and of course the overall Link Engine Management Prospec Championship.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have a great battle-filled day tomorrow. Yep. I think we're going to have some qualifying for the pro guys as well, so we have a lot of action tomorrow. We're here from sun up to sun, well beyond sundown tomorrow, so you're going to get a lot of drifting in tomorrow if you want to tune in.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Ryan Lontaine, I'm Jared Deanna, again on behalf of Chris Ewell, as well as Brian Eggert, the whole Formula Drift staff, and everybody here at Orlando Speed World. We'll see you online, or we'll actually see you tomorrow. Send it.